everyone, it's Tailz from Studio WyldFurr here. I've just wrapped up converting the Catacombs Map Tile pack to a Fantasy Grounds art asset module, and I thought I'd just sort of walk you through what you would do to make a adventure map if you were using the assets pack. So I've just loaded into Fantasy Grounds. This is the D&D 5th edition rule set. Really could use any rule set you like. It should be not dependent upon what rule set you're using to use the assets. So first up, create your blank canvas. So go to images, open up the images panel, create a blank one, so create item. Okay, so this is going to be our blank map canvas. So let's get rid of that little panel. Put this one up here. Now click and drag it out so it fills up a good bit of the screen. So this is going to be our canvas area. Now what we want to do first is we want to change the map grid. So we go over here to the grid. Now you can see it's by default it's set to 50 pixels square. Change that to 180. There we go. So it's 180. It's square grid. You can toggle the the grid on or off. Really doesn't matter. We just want to be able to snap to that grid, and 180 is the grid size that I use for all of Studio WyldFurr's map tiles. Now we want to come down to the assets panel. So we've got the assets panel up. Click on images, because it's an image assets system. Go looking for Catacomb Map Tiles and open it up. So this is our bunch of folders here. So let's pop that up there. Just make this window a little smaller and make it larger down to there. So the reason why we sort of split up the screen like this is that we want to be able to see our map as it's being formed here, but we want to have access to the assets over here in this panel. So let's start by, I'm just going to create, I'll create 2 rooms. This is just a real quick map build to show you, give you an idea of how you do it. So, oh, and one thing I'm going to do first as well is I'm going to create some folders. So I'm going to create a folder and I'm going to call it walls. So that's where I'll put all of my wall assets. Another folder, I'll call it the floor. That's where I put all my floor assets. So we want the walls above the floor, and it doesn't really matter which you start with. So let's start with the floor. Now this is, so in the package there we've got Catacomb rock floor. We've then got plaster wall overlays, so that's sort of like a plaster wall design for the walls. We've then got another called rubble rock walls, where the walls are like a rubble made out of stone rubble. We've then got the sandstone floor, so that's sandstone bricks. Followed up by stone wall overlays, which is another sort of texture, sort of like a mortar and stone medieval type wall, and then tombstones. So if we want to have some tombs around the map, but let's just start off with our catacombs rock floor, and here are all the assets. So you use the little forwards and back buttons to go through the assets. So it's pretty standard. Pardon me. So let's start with a big hole in the ground. Where is it? Okay, so selection. So we'll pop that there. So we'll then put some squares around it. So I'm just building up the floor. As you can see, I'm just click drag, click drag, click drag, dunk, 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 dunk. There's our first room with a pit in the middle. Now, one thing I've just noticed is that I'm a bit off the grid, so just pop these onto the grid. I was actually halfway across. Easy fix. So that's going to be room number 1. Then let's just say we have a corridor comes off here. We have another room here. Let's go to... Let's say we have a staircase. It comes down by 3. Now the way I've made the staircases is you put down a base layer, then you come up here to... So you could either make a spiral staircase. So for example, you know, here's part of a spiral staircase. You know, that's the big 10-foot wide staircase. Let's get rid of that bit. Or you could go for the smaller one. Oops, is that the right same piece? Oh, here we go. There's the smaller one there. So that's the smaller, only 5-foot wide staircase. So you'd have a central pillar and then walls around the outside. Actually, let's use that. So we'll make a room here, but we'll have another set of steps over here. That's where we use the basic steps. Here we go. So you can use this as an edge to the. Let's just say you've got this room here is like a platform, and then there's something else here. You could use these tiles as the edge of that platform. For example, you could put these in. Oops. That could be the edge of that platform, but that's not what we're going to do. Instead, we're going to go looking for these ones. Now, this is the reason why you put down a bunch of tiles first, is because if you have a look at these, see how there's a shadowing for the last step? It means that you come along and you pop that there, and it creates the effect of shadowing down. Now, this is where you need to make certain that you're putting these down in the right order, because if you put the next one, where is it? If I put the next one down, see how it's overlapping that last bit? We want this one under this one. So that's where you come along and just change it in the list. And there you go. And our shadow now looks correct. So we have a passageway that comes down, turns a corner here, comes out into a room here. Now, what I'm going to do is select all these, pop them in my floor folder. Whoops. Yeah, there's one little, I don't know whether it's a bug or a feature, but it doesn't like to have the folders move around when you pick up stuff to put them in it. Don't know why, it just happens. There we go. So all of this is inside that folder, which just makes organization a little bit easier. So I'm going to go back down here, highlight that one, because whatever you drag in gets put on top of the current piece that you have highlighted. So let's go back to the floor. Well, actually, let's change texture. We'll use our sandstone floor. So maybe it comes down to like a different floor. So yep, there we go. Dunk, 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 and dunk. Now this is where positioning becomes important. So we're going to put these underneath these. There we go. So let's just say that's our basic layout. So we've got a big room here, steps down and into another room here. So we want to put some walls around it. So let's go to, let's just say this is an underground place. So let's use our rubble rock wall. So it's like crumbled stone and whatnot. Let's plonk down that. So this is the walls around our floor. Now, of course, once again, we want to have these inside our walls folder. So let's just plonk, plonk, plonk. Putting down the corners. That one there. I'm going to need a wall there. Go. Just put a wall on this side and one over here. So there's the top of this. Now, as you can see when it puts the new tiles down, it puts them on top of everything. So just drag your folders up and then drag them into the correct folder that you want them in. There we go. So we want to continue down here. So you can just like on these passageway areas, you can just build up one side and then build up the other side. But I've also put in helper tiles. So for example, if you look for passageways and dead ends. So here we go. So here's some pre-built passageways. So we just dunk, dunk. Yep, here's the turn. Dunk. Dunk. And now we want to go back up. Whoops, too far. Back into here. I was using the rubble rock walls. So we want to then just give this room its edges. And then we just need a corner piece, which is in the cornerstones folder, and it's just one of these. Dunk. There we go. So there's a really quick. Oh, I need to put a piece here. So I've made. There's the cornerstones where it's a rock in one corner, or I've made doorway where it's the wall sections on a doorway. So for example, I'll just grab this one here and plonk. There it is, done. So you can zoom out a little bit. You just, change the background to be white, just to blend in with the white masking I use on the edge of tiles, and it's done. So we'll come back to here. Let's go toggle. No, we want to. Oh, the grid is hidden over there. So that is a quick little map build to show you how you can build maps in Fantasy Grounds with the Catacombs Map Tiles set. I hope you have a lot of fun building adventure maps with the set, and if you've got any questions, just pop me a message on Discord. You can also grab me on Patreon. I also have a link to the Fantasy Grounds forum, where the main discussion for most of my map tiles is. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a lot of fun. Thank you.